I'm Michael Kwan with Megatech News. We're here at E3 in Los Angeles to see the latest and greatest in the world of gaming. Let's check it out. One of the biggest announcements here at E3 had to be the Sony PlayStation 4. Their press conference was just a few hours after the Xbox One, actually. They took a lot of pot shots at them, saying a lot of the advantages that they have over the Microsoft offering. The biggest part, you save $100, that's pretty big, but it actually supports used games, which is great, and it doesn't always have to be online. They're bringing a lot of new titles, new franchises to the system, including a new Killzone, there's new Kingdom Hearts, there's a new Final Fantasy, as well as Bungie's new title with the PlayStation, which is called Destiny. So Microsoft officially unveiled their brand new console here at E3, and it's called the Xbox One. We thought it was going to be called the 720, or there's a whole bunch of other names that were going around, but it's officially been revealed as the Xbox One. It's the new version, or the successor to the Xbox 360, and there's a lot of new franchises and updates to existing franchises that are going to be on the system, like Forza, Metal Gear Solid, and I had the opportunity to play Killer Instinct on it, and what's really different about Killer Instinct is that it's on a freemium model. So when you buy the game, it's actually free, and so that's going to be great for the launch of the Xbox One. The issue is that you start with only one character. You start with just Jago, and then you have to buy the additional characters after that. And I think that there's going to be some resistance to that kind of model, as well as a lot of the other decisions that Microsoft took with the Xbox One, having issues with being able to lend games to your friends. It has to get online at least once every 24 hours to validate your system. So Microsoft's going to have some challenges in the next year or so to try to fend off the bad press that they've already received. But here's hoping that the Xbox One and the PS4 keep the console wars really alive. So a lot of the buzz around this year's E3 was surrounding the new Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, but Nintendo is quick to point out that they're still here and the Wii U is their main console. There are a lot of new games or updates to new games that were announced at the show. I had the opportunity to play Mario Kart 8, which is basically an evolution of the Mario Kart 7 that we saw on the 3DS, along with some new changes like the anti-gravity effects. You can drive along the walls and on the ceiling. They also have the underwater effects. There was an update to Donkey Kong Country that was announced, a new Zelda, and one of the biggest announcements, especially for people like me, that we've been looking forward to for a long time, Nintendo is coming out with a new Smash Brothers for both the 3DS and the Wii U. We're still waiting to hear more about that game, but for the fighting game community and the casual fighting game community and the hardcore fighting game community, we all love our Smash Brothers. So it'd be great to be able to have that on our 3DS and on the Wii U. So we were originally introduced to the NVIDIA Shield back in CES in January, but now it's getting much closer to launch and it's almost ready to go. So I guess first and foremost, it starts off as a great Android gaming experience.
Purely an Android gaming device, it's awesome. I mean, you have an extremely high quality controller attached to an amazing display, and then with the power of Tegra 4, the possibilities are endless, what you can do with that kind of combination. So.
And obviously a really big part of that is working with the developers to make sure that they are maximizing the use of the hardware, working great with Tegra 4.
That's correct. So not only are there thousands of games out there that you can play automatically, and a ton of them have great controller support, but we're also working with developers, like you said, to bring back legacy content, like Rockstar bringing back some of the Max Payne and Grand Theft Auto titles. They have awesome controller support, and so we're hoping that a ton more developers will start to see this and bring a ton more content to the Shield and to Android gaming in general.
How many titles do you think will be available at time of launch that will have controller support straight out of the box?
So we have what's called Shield Store, and the Shield Store is basically our curated store where we have new titles, exciting stuff that takes full advantage of the graphical capabilities of Tegra 4. And at launch, there's going to be anywhere 20 to 50 games that are going to be available in that store. But I mean, that number is growing daily, and there's tons of games that are going to be released, for the foreseeable future of Android.
Obviously, one of the biggest differentiating factors of the Shield is that you're able to effectively play your PC game on the Shield. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so PC to Shield streaming is awesome. Basically what you're doing is you're taking your GeForce graphics card and you're using the H.264 conversion chip. It's a hardware encoder on the GPU. That takes the GPU signal and sends it to the Shield wirelessly. And that basically allows you to have a much smaller video file, but still looks amazing on the Shield. And the Shield is not actually doing any computational work. So it's just kind of like a remote controller with the screen on it. Anywhere on a wireless end network inside your house, you can do this, and it's a great experience.
One thing that a lot of gamers are going to be concerned about, because it is streaming wirelessly, effectively in both directions,
right.
There may be some issues with bandwidth or latency. What is NVIDIA doing to address that?
You know, obviously we're very close to the router here, and the further away you get, your wireless signal is going to degrade with any device. But within the normal range of a wireless end network, you're going to get a great experience. I mean, we've been testing this a ton over the past couple months, and it's awesome.
I've seen a lot of advancements in terms of graphics and physics and that kind of thing, but you're still restricted by playing with a keyboard and mouse or playing with a controller, so it's not really quite as immersive. Well, Virtuix here has a great new product. It's called Omni, and it really brings the virtual reality into the real world.
The Omni is the first virtual reality interface to move freely and naturally in your favorite game. And it fills a big void right now in virtual reality. We have now the Rift, we have affordable tracking devices. And there's one missing link, is how do you walk around in the virtual world? And the immersion of physically moving around in the game is really neat. That's why we developed the Omni. It's to bring virtual reality to that next level. The Omni is a low-friction surface that comes with low-friction shoes. And the sole of the shoe is what's crucial. It's low friction, but it also has higher friction on the toe to stabilize the foot. The objective is to mimic a natural gait so you can walk naturally in the virtual world. So the Omni will come with the shoes, and after Kickstarter we'll ask for the shoe size and so forth, but it will come with shoes and with the belt as well to provide safety and support.
So when I was trying it, you put me through that quick training period for 5 minutes, because it is pretty different than a regular controller.
But as you noticed, you do it for 2 minutes, you get used to it, and it becomes second nature really quickly. So you feel natural in the virtual world, just moving around, crouching, jumping, running, walking, and it's just a great experience.
Do the developers have to work with your API, or is it just straight keyboard and mouse mapping?
The Omni works out of the box with any game that uses keyboard input. Our software translates your motions to keystrokes that drive the avatar in the game. So any game out of the box can be played with the Omni.
So when can we expect to have the final retail product?
So as soon as our Kickstarter ends, which is another 40 days, believe it or not, our Omni will be available on our website, but at a higher price. We want to give our backers on Kickstarter a discount to thank them for their support. Afterwards, right now it's $429. Afterwards, on our website, it will be somewhere between $499 and $599. And the Omni comes with the shoes, with a belt, but also with integrated tracking hardware and software. So right now we use a Kinect, but you don't need a Kinect. The Omni will come with the integrated hardware to perform the tracking.
And when will that be shipping then?
We plan to ship the first units in January 2014.
So that wraps up our coverage here at E3 2013. We were able to check out some of the great new titles in hardware, including the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, new titles from the Wii U, as well as a different way to play on the PC with the Omni, and even bridging the gap with something like the NVIDIA Shield. On behalf of everyone at Megatech News, thanks for tuning in. I'm Michael Kwan, signing off from Los Angeles.